Welcome to Churchill Downs, Louisville, Kentucky, the site of the 145th Kentucky Derby on Saturday. Randy Moss alongside Hall of Fame jockey Jerry Bailey. Welcome to our office. This is much better than a cubicle, isn't it?
I love it here.
It's fantastic.
It's going to be filled up here pretty soon.
And we have program odds now for the Kentucky Derby. This is after the scratch that many of you have heard about of Omaha Beach, who had been the favorite. The odds were redone. Game winner is now the 9-2 program favorite with Improbable second choice, Roadster third choice, and Tacitus and Maximum Security fourth choices at 8-1. Never in the 144 previous runnings of the Kentucky Derby has one trainer saddled the first three betting favorites in this race, and now Bob Baffert has a chance to do that. We know already he's the king of the Derby, but this is pretty incredible.
Well, he's got 2 Triple Crowns in his pocket already. This would be his 5th win of the Derby, 6th. He would tie Ben Jones. So, yeah, he's loaded. I mean, and they all three really do have a pretty good chance.
We think Game Winner probably has the best chance of his 3.
Well, he's proven over this racetrack. He won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last year here at Churchill Downs, going a mile and a 16th. So, yeah, we know he likes the track dry. We don't know if he likes it wet, and it might very well be wet.
Now, the dropout of Omaha Beach due to a throat problem will prevent Hall of Fame trainer Richard Mandela from a chance to win his first Kentucky Derby. But we have another all-time great trainer in Bill Mott, who will be attempting to win his first with the Wood Memorial winner, Tacitus.
And these two guys are well-known inside the industry, not so much to the fringe, you know, for the Triple Crown prowess, but both of them are excellent trainers. And Bill Mott with Tacitus, he has a very good chance. He won the Wood Memorial. He kind of got roughed up in that race, much like they can in the Kentucky Derby, so he's seasoned, that's for sure.
Pace. We're always talking about pace. Me and you, we draw it up. I do pace figures. You think about it like a jockey.
Yeah.
What are you expecting to happen when the gates open?
All right, so until War of Will got post 1, I thought there was going to be a fairly paceless race. But with War of Will in 1 and some speed, he's going to use that speed early. I think Vacoma, who's always close up in post 6, and then Maximum Security, the gate-to-wire winner in the Florida Derby, I think those 3 will lead the charge into the first turn. And I think it will be an honest pace.
Now, we've seen some radioactive paces in the Kentucky Derby in the past.
45 and changed last year, but justified.
So is this average, faster than average, slower than average? What do you think?
It depends on War of Will. If he breaks well and runs, I think it will be just slightly faster than average. I think it'll be 47 and 1. You might think that's slow, but I think they keep that pace up through the backside into the 3/4.
Yeah. Okay, now everybody talks about wanting to play the Superfecta and wanting these big, long shot horses to come in.
There's plenty of them.
There's plenty of them. I know I have a couple long shots that I kind of like. You and I tend to think alike.
Yeah.
So give some sleepers.
Well, under the radar is Code of Honor. He won the Fountain of Youth. He didn't really run bad in the Florida Derby, finished 3rd, but it was a paceless race, so if he gets some pace, he'll run well. Win. I know we both talked about that horse. 2nd in both of his last races, but they were wide trips. He didn't have the luck. He could get a wide trip again, but I think he'll come running late.
And there's another one I'll throw in there, a horse called By My Standards, who won the Louisiana Derby. Every year when you come to Churchill Downs, there are these buzz horses that everyone's talking about, right? The wise guy horses, that's what some people call them as well. By My Standards fits that category this year because he's been training so well here at Churchill Downs. But if he's going to win, he's really going to have to take his game to the next level.
And you know, Bob Baffert's other 2 horses, Improbable and Roadster, are 2nd and 3rd choice now. But they may drift up to 6, 8, 10-1, one of them. And that would be a horse that could run well. That's a bigger price than he should be.
All right. We've done our jobs here in our office cubicle here on the first turn at Churchill Downs. Now we're going to step aside and we're going to get some handicapping perspective now from the one and only Edzo, Eddie Olczyk, next. Welcome back to historic Churchill Downs, home, of course, of Saturday's Kentucky Derby. More Derby talk now on the way, as promised. Let's dive into the handicapping weeds. There's a lot to talk about here for this Kentucky Derby. Let's take it now to Mr. Olczyk, Eddie O.
Hello, Randy, Jerry. Nice to be with you guys. I mean, when I look at the field for the 145th running of the Kentucky Derby, I think there's lots of ways to go. And we have talked off camera that you could probably make a case for 6, 7 horses, and obviously we lost the favorite in Omaha Beach. I think there's a little bit more speed in this race than people are leading on. We don't know what the weather's going to be. I'm looking at a horse like Gray Magician, who's 50-1. I think that horse has a chance to be on the lead if we have an off track. I don't think you guys are on the same side of the fence that I am when it comes to how much speed might be in this race, and how can you how do you not look at Bob Baffert with his 3 horses very, very live, and could we see a Bob Baffert trifecta come the first Saturday in May?
So if the pace is lively, I mean, what are some of the horses that you think are in the mix to clunk up from behind, like we've seen so often, get part of the superfecta?
Yeah, I really think, Randy, I'm looking at building a lot of my tickets. Now, this will be based on an off track, any kind of moisture in the track, hopefully not like last year. I'm going to build a lot of my tickets around the 13-horse Code of Honor, trained by Shug McGahee, who has won the Kentucky Derby before a couple of years ago with Orb. Johnny Velasquez certainly knows how to get around this track. So for me, I think this horse is training very well. Worked on a off track 2 works ago. I think is bred to go the distance. Needs a hotter pace, but I think in this race, I think Johnny's going to get this horse in, settled a little bit closer than I've seen. So a lot of my tickets are going to be on number 13, Code of Honor.
So Edzo, when I rode, I'd sit in the jocks room or be on the horse, and I would really notice biases.
Sure.
Some years there's no bias, some years it's inside outside, but we saw last year Justify go 45 and change.
Right.
You'd think he'd stop, but he kept going.
Yeah.
The track was kind of speedy.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch that and play into that, and might that change your mind through the day?
100%, Jerry. I'm watching it. I'm hoping jockeys watch it, because sometimes, as you know from your Hall of Fame career and your experience, sometimes you get on a piece of the track and it just carries you regardless of the distance. So I will certainly be looking at that, and you're right. You think about Justify last year, think about it, the last 6 winners of the Kentucky Derby, once these horses, the lead horse I should say, once the lead horse gets to the mile pole, so only a quarter mile from the finish, the winner has been either first, second, or third when the lead horse gets to the mile marker. That's something to keep an eye on. So what does that tell me? The track has carried the eventual winners from the quarter pole home.
So Code of Honor, you mentioned you like him. He's 12-1.
Yeah.
Who are, if not him,
Yeah.
who are some of the other horses that you're going to be keying on the top of your tickets, like your superfectas?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to use Code of Honor on top, Randy, but I have to stay with Roadster. You guys know I've been on Roadster's bandwagon. I don't know if the track is off, if he can do what he has done on a fast track. I'm certainly going to use him because I don't want to get beaten by Bob Baffert. I'm going to use all 3 of Bob's on my tickets and hope somewhere, maybe I hit the all button somewhere for third or maybe even second, then the thing ends up exploding and maybe pays anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000. Look at last year, and still regarded, 85-1, 90-1, ends up making the superfecta. So I'm going to use all 3 of Bob's horses. Tacitus I'm certainly going to use, so I'm going to try to use a lot of different combinations and hopefully a little bit of luck on my side like last year. But I am going to use Code of Honor on top if it is indeed an off track.
And so do you think there's any chance the undefeated Maximum Security, who's already won in the slop, can steal away at any point in the race and be a threat?
I think anything is possible, Jerry. I'm not going to use Maximum Security again. I don't think he's going to get it his own way. A lot of the speed, obviously, on the inside. But the horse has done nothing wrong. The only thing that I would look at, and probably shame on me, is you guys, it's documented, the horse ran for maiden 16 in Gulfstream Park. That's the only thing I can't get by. If this horse ran for maiden special weight the first race out and win off the screen and be perfect like he is, he would no question be the favorite in this race. So I'm going to try to throw him out. He'll probably end up being somewhere in that 7 to 8-1 range.
Okay.
All right, Edzo.
Thanks, Edzo.
Over Edzo's right shoulder, you see that $500. That'll be his starting bankroll on NBC this weekend. And, of course, he nailed the first 3 finishers at the Kentucky Derby last year, topped by Justify. Enjoy this year's Kentucky Derby. You can see it, of course, Saturday on NBC.